Hey, 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 beautiful souls. How are y'all tonight? Whew. Okay, so today my husband and I went to the movies to see Housemaid. And it was a very, very interesting and very eye opening perspective. I don't really want to give it away if y'all have not seen it. But some things I wanted to highlight that it consisted of. And I wrote some little notes here. Okay, so what I seen immediately, not immediately, but what I seen from both male and female were unhealed childhood traumas, vulnerability from the female perspective, and I seen power and control from the male perspective. Um, I seen, like I said, unhealed childhood traumas from both the male and female perspective. It's a lot that I can break down in these movies, but I don't want it to be a spoiler for anyone that has not seen it because it is a suspense. I love the suspense about it, but it was so much truth to that movie for many, many um, women that have been in that position or in real time um, going through that situation. Um, but it's a lot of points and key points that I would like to start highlighting more, especially unhealed childhood traumas from both sides. Um, we always we don't never really get a lot of the men perspectives far as them being the abuser. We always hear the woman perspective far as her being abused. And I would really, 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 really like to talk to men that have been abusers. Um, there was a lot of power and control, manipulation, Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, love bombing, um, savior complex, of course, infidelity. Um, from my perspective, there was a hate for women or woman, and it was because they hated their mother. Um, I seen insecurities from the get go, which is childhood traumas, unhealed childhood traumas. Um, just a lot of perspective came out of this. And y'all give me y'all thoughts on this if you have seen it. If you have not seen it, um, go see it. Go see it. Um, as women, I think it's just in a man's nature to have that power and control to a sense, but their egos. But I will say she planned her escape very well. Very well, very smart. But it was at the sacrifice of another person. So I would not recommend that. But anyway, what I want to say to women is make sure, and I teach your daughters, because women, especially if you come from broken homes or you grew up in an environment where there was abuse, um, your aura, your energy, your it's like a radar naturally for somebody that is manipulative, a predator, um, because that's what you grew up seeing. So you don't know any better but to sometime attract that behavior from someone, because you're not aware of, like I said, we normalize harm and we don't even know that we normalize harm, because we normalize the acceptance of harm simply because we don't know any better. We grew up with like keeping secrets, or you tell someone that, you know, my uncle or whoever tried to do this, or they did this, they raped me, and no one believes you. Or they tell you not to tell anybody, or they just go silent on you. And sometimes it's because maybe that happened to their mother, or so they don't want to talk about it, or it's normalized. It's normalized. So the cycles just keep repeating generation after generation after generation. And it was just a lot of things that I seen from both sides, the male and the female, as far as their childhood, how they were brought up, that made him an abuser and caused her to have vulnerability. But man, this movie is really, really good and highlights a lot of stuff. And I think everybody should see this movie from a male and female perspective. Females go through a lot. Females go through a lot without even I'm not taking the responsibility off the female either, but as women, vulnerability is so easy. And I've heard men say we're predators. We are this, we are that. And men can be their ego. But this was, when you're dealing with a narcissistic, toxic relationship, it's like way over the top. And this one was way over the top. And a lot of this stuff stemmed from his mother. Mother. I'm trying to talk about this without going into a lot of details about the movie, because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it, because I like suspense. So, but it was a lot to think about it. And the vulnerability, women, make sure you are doing reflections, healing, loving on yourself, knowing your worth. And if you have daughters, instill that in them early. To love themselves. And I can't express that enough. What happens to you in those relationships, if you are in a toxic, it's not your fault. It's not It's not your fault. But I don't know, my computer just did something crazy. Um, but like I said, you carrying that energy, that vulnerability energy, they see you coming. They see you coming. They see you coming. A predator sees you coming. A narcissist sees you coming. Those are red flags. They see it. They pounce on it because they already got the strategy and know what they're going to do. So I would get more into this. But all I can say right now, y'all, women, love yourself. Know your worth. And know your value. And don't put up with shit. And speak up. That's all. That's all. Y'all, that is a must see if you have not seen it. Housemaid is a must see. It is must see. It is a must see. So, and I want y'all women to know you are the prize. You are the prize. You are the prize. Not him. You are the prize. Okay? You are the prize. So stop thinking that I love marriage. I love being married. I am married. I love my husband. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But just be wise who you marry. Make sure that you are healed and ready for marriage if that's what you desire. If that's what you desire, make sure you are healed and ready for it. For any unhealed trauma, make sure you know who you are. Make sure you know your value. Make sure you know what you're willing to tolerate and not tolerate. Just make sure you know who you are and your value, your worth, because you are a jewel. You are a jewel. So it's time for women to rise up and speak, and don't be nobody footstool. Nobody. Nobody footstool. So that movie was very, very, very eye-opening, because usually when they do, the title says Housemaid. So when I read the title, I thought it was maybe, the typical, what is it, Lifetime movies where the woman comes in and she takes the husband and she's doing, the husband is innocent, and she tries to take over the household and all of that kind of stuff. This got a lot of elements of surprise to it. So I love suspense movies, but this movie is true and real for many people, or have been for many people. So I'm not gonna say another woman, but their husband. Their husband. So yeah, it's really good. And to keep me from going into details about it for people that haven't seen it, I'm gonna go ahead and just stop this video. But it's something else. It is something else. And just make sure that you love yourself and know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Okay? I am Cassandra But They Shine, and it is through our voices and stories that we can help or inspire others to become survivors. Don't forget to sound the silence in domestic violence. Open your mouth. Shout it to the world. All right. Good night.